Ever stop to marvel at the ages some creatures on this planet can reach? We humans are so focused on our own lifespans, but, well, the animal kingdom boasts some truly astonishing examples of longevity. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a fascinating list. You shared with us an article highlighting 10 of the longest living animal species out there.
It's pretty remarkable when you think about it, the sheer diversity of life that has, independently evolved this capacity for extreme old age. We're looking at organisms across the biological spectrum, all sort of sharing this incredible trait.
Absolutely. And our mission today is to unpack this list, pull out the most surprising and, well, interesting insights about these ancient animals, give you a quick yet thorough understanding of this really fascinating aspect of the natural world. Okay, let's dive right in. First up, a creature that might just surprise you with its age. The ocean quahog.
Ah, yes, the ocean quahog, Arctica islandica. It's an edible clam, which I think is what catches people off guard. Our source mentions they typically live for 405 to 410 years.
400 years.
Wow.
For a clam.
Yeah, and that's typical. There was one documented individual that reached an incredible 507 years old.
507.
Yeah.
That's almost unbelievable. This, unassuming creature could have been alive when the printing press was still relatively new tech.
Exactly.
So what does that tell us about their biology? How can such, seemingly simple organism live for half a millennium?
Well, it really raises these fundamental questions about aging, right? Down at the cellular level. These clams must have remarkably effective ways to repair DNA damage, maintain protein integrity,
Right.
just overall cellular stability to last that long.
Right.
Scientists think it's probably a mix of things. Unique antioxidant enzymes,
Yeah.
really efficient DNA repair, maybe linked to slow cell division. It's a huge area of research, trying to figure out the basic limits of cellular aging. And of course, their slow metabolism probably helps too. Less wear and tear over time.
Metabolism and environment, they live in deep, stable waters, don't they?
That likely plays a big role too, yes. A stable, cold environment.
Fascinating stuff. Okay, moving from the seabed up into the vast expanse of the ocean. We have the majestic bowhead whales, estimated lifespan around 200 years.
That's the estimate, yeah. And the article highlighted some really striking evidence for this.
It did, the harpoons.
Exactly. Finding old harpoon fragments, some dating back to around 1890, actually embedded in recently deceased whales.
Wow, just imagine that. A whale swimming around for over a century carrying this physical reminder of a bygone era inside it.
It's incredible, isn't it? Like a living artifact, as you say.
Yeah. And the article mentioned that this, plus something called amino acid analysis, backs up that long lifespan, puts it maybe between 177 and 245 years.
That's right. That amino acid analysis looks at how certain proteins break down over time, giving another way to estimate age. And it all points to these whales having these incredibly slow life histories, slow metabolism, maturing late, not many predators once they're adults.
Makes sense. It's just mind-blowing longevity. Okay, next up, eels. Bit more mysterious, perhaps. Estimated lifespan over 150 years.
Yeah, the source notes the lifespan, but doesn't dive deep into the how.
Right.
Which, as you say, makes them intriguing. It kind of suggests our understanding here might still be evolving.
So it makes you wonder, what factors, environmental, biological, could let these often migratory creatures live so long? What's their secret?
Precisely. Still questions to be answered there.
Definitely keeps you thinking. Okay, let's shift gears. A true living fossil now. The tuatara from New Zealand. They look like lizards, but they're something else entirely, aren't they?
Oh, completely different. They're in their own order, Rancocephalia. Their lineage actually branched off from lizards and snakes over 200 million years ago.
Oh, really ancient.
And they live up to it, lifespans of 100 to 200 years, maybe even more.
And they're only found in New Zealand.
Endemic to New Zealand, yes. Which makes them super important from a conservation standpoint.
Absolutely. I mean, these creatures have seen so much change on Earth. It makes you think, what can they tell us about resilience over these vast timescales?
It's a great question. Their slow metabolism and relatively low body temperature are thought to be key factors. Another example of physiology influencing lifespan.
Right, different strategies.
Okay.
Moving on to another icon of longevity, the Galapagos giant tortoise.
Ah, yes. Wonderful creatures. Lifespan typically around 190 years.
Just saying the name Galapagos tortoises conjures up these images, doesn't it? ancient, slow-moving giants.
Definitely. And they live in the Galapagos Islands, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It highlights their ecological importance and the efforts to protect them.
People travel from all over just to see them.
They do, these magnificent creatures.
Imagine the history they've witnessed over nearly 2 centuries. Incredible. Okay, now let's dive deep again into the cold waters of the North Atlantic. The Greenland shark.
Right, another deep-sea dweller. Believe lifespan potentially over 200 years. Some studies suggest even longer, maybe up to 400, making them possibly the longest-lived vertebrates.
400, even longer than the bowhead.
Potentially, yes, though dating them is tricky, but certainly exceptionally long-lived.
And again, that deep cold environment seems key.
It does seem to be a recurring theme, doesn't it? The frigid temperatures likely mean an incredibly slow metabolic rate, slow growth, slow everything, leading to these extreme lifespans.
It's almost a paradox. Such a challenging place fosters such long life.
Or perhaps the stability is less challenging in some ways than, say, fluctuating surface conditions.
Interesting point. Okay, let's bring it a bit closer to human interaction. Koi.
Ah, the decorative carp.
Yeah, those beautiful Japanese domesticated carp. They can live over 200 years in ponds.
They can, yes. It's a really interesting contrast to the wild animals, isn't it?
Definitely.
Here you have a species in a controlled environment, consistent food, protection from predators, and yet they still reach these impressive ages.
So it shows the potential is there, even in some fish, under the right conditions.
Exactly. It's quite surprising, really, that these ornamental fish can easily outlive humans.
It really puts our own lives in perspective. Okay, next, macaws. Colorful, noisy.
Very colorful, very noisy parrots, yes, long tails.
And they can live 80 to 100 years.
But the article specifically notes this is usually in captivity.
Right, and that's a crucial distinction. Captivity shields them from predators, ensures food, provides vet care. All these factors can significantly boost their lifespan compared to the rough and tumble of the wild.
Yeah, makes you wonder what their actual wild lifespan is like. What are the big threats out there that cut it short?
Habitat loss, predation, disease. The usual pressures, likely much more intense.
Okay, now for a bit of contrast. The article includes Asian elephants, still long-lived, of course, but their maximum recorded lifespan is about 86 years.
And including them is useful, I think. It provides a reference point.
Right.
86 years is definitely a long time, especially for a big mammal, but compared to a 500-year-old clam or a 200-year-old whale, it helps calibrate what we mean by long-lived in the grand scheme of the animal kingdom.
Absolutely. Context is everything. Okay, finally, an animal many of us know well, horses.
Good old horses.
Typical lifespan, what, 25 to 30 years? Maybe another 40 sometime. It's about right, yeah, for most horses.
But the article shares this amazing story of Old Billy.
Ah, Old Billy, a legend.
A 19th century horse verified to have lived to 62.
62. It's incredible. It just shows that even within a species with a more, let's say, standard lifespan, you can get these exceptional individuals who just blow the averages away.
Makes you wonder what was special about Old Billy. Genetics, care, just luck.
Probably a combination of factors we'll never fully know, but a great example of variation.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
it's just astonishing, isn't it? The range we've covered, from the decades of a horse to potentially centuries for a clam or a shark.
It really is. I think the big takeaway is just the sheer diversity of strategies nature has evolved for longevity. It's not one size fits all. It happens in vastly different ways across totally different types of animals.
Absolutely. And maybe it leaves you, the listener, with this final thought to chew on. Considering all these wildly different examples, what are the fundamental biological keys? The mechanisms that allow for such huge differences in lifespan. And could studying these creatures, the clams, the sharks, the tortoises, even Old Billy, could that unlock insights into our own aging process?
It's the ultimate question, isn't it? There's still so much to learn from the fascinating biology and ecology of these ancient and sometimes surprisingly everyday, long-lived animals.
Definitely encourages you to keep exploring.